guys, welcome back. So in today's video I want to show to you how I will go about repotting my phalaenopsis orchid. You saw it recently in my orchid haul video, and I know this orchid has quite a lot of snails and I don't want them to munch any new root tips, and I know she has a few. First of all, you want to gently squeeze the pot to detach the roots from the sides of the pot, and gently try to take your orchid, or in my case orchids, and gently pull it up. Now I think I will go first and take this I will take this flower stake because I don't want to damage the flower spike. And okay, gently pull it up. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I don't want to make a mess on my desk, that's for sure. Yeah, it's good. Now the medium doesn't smell bad at all, but the fact that the orchid has snails, it is enough for me to repot it. And also, as you all know, I don't use organic medium, so I don't really like bark. But actually it's quite fresh new bark, and I don't seem to have any moss plucked in the middle of the pot, which is pretty awesome. Maybe this orchid was really repotted less than a year ago. It is possible. I will slowly try to detach the bark from the roots. I don't want any organic medium in my pot because I use inorganic. And I will detach all the medium that comes out from its own, and whatever pieces I still have, I will put the root system inside its decorative container and soak it for how much it's needed to make the bark and the roots expand, and to make sure I don't damage any roots. Yeah, I have a few pieces that are quite attached, but that's fine. They are slowly coming off. Another thing that I don't want to separate the orchids. I want to keep them in the same pot, and I really want to see in 1 or 2 years how they will bloom together, because I want this to remain a community pot. These orchids grew together and they are pretty used to that. I don't recommend you pot. Yeah, I managed to damage this root here. That's it. I wouldn't recommend any new orchids that you purchase to pot them together, because you don't know if they have any disease or anything like that, and you first need to have an established orchid to a particular environment, and then you can put them together. Like for example, my phals that I have them for 1 or 2 years, yeah, those would be a good candidate to put them together because they have good root system. They don't suffer that shock from moving from one environment to another and that sort of thing. I have, as you can see here, quite a lot of fruits that just stopped growing, and that is not good. That is a sign of snails that munched off the roots, and I don't like that. I don't like snails. Another thing that you should consider when you bring a new orchid, it is quarantine that new orchid. They usually come with all sorts of bugs and things like that, and you really should keep it separate for at least 1 month. And I usually do a preventive treatment for my new orchids. I spray them with an insecticide and with an fungicide. It is a double action, and that helps me a lot because the fungicide works against fusarium as well, or at least it should. So doing that helps me a lot to contain my problems. And also the insecticide works against thrips, against aphids, against spider mites, and all sorts of bugs and things. So I really like that fungicide, but unfortunately I think it's only available in Romania. Not really sure about that. I will try to put you a picture with it so you can see it and maybe find it in your country. As you can see, my orchid has a pretty good root system. I grow most of my phalaenopsis in semi-hydroponics, but I also have a few in normal pots with seramis and leca as medium, and water them whenever the roots get white in color or silvery, because that is the time when phalaenopsis needs some water. Phalaenopsis are also heavy feeders, so I would really recommend, yeah, I broke that root. I would really recommend you make sure you fertilize your phalaenopsis correctly. I know they are heavy feeders, and right now I am trying to provide about 600 ppm with every other watering. I know it is a lot, and I am just testing this method, and I will see what blooms I will have next season. Anyway, I am doing this for over 2 months now, and I cannot see any root damage, any root tips getting black or things like that. So I think the orchids can take 600 ppm. I am using right now the orchid fertilizer from Orchids and More, or from Schwerter. I have 2 of them, but they will soon finish, and my lovely viewer Gorana said she will send me some MSU fertilizer, so that's pretty awesome. So now I will have that one too. I do need quite a lot of fertilizer because I fertilize with high amounts of fertilizer, and I use osmosis water, and that helps me use higher concentrations, and my orchids are growing pretty well. To start fertilizing with clean pure water, and then add my fertilizer to the desired concentration. I can see my orchid doesn't have any other type of bugs like aphids or things like that. Aphids can usually hide under the stem of the orchid where the roots start to grow, and this one doesn't have that, so that is pretty good. Anyway, I will do her a treatment for spider mites anyway, because those ones I cannot see with my bare eye, and I don't have any microscope to see them. So yeah. Okay guys, so I had removed every single piece of bark, as you can see, so there is no need to soak my orchid anymore. And also my root system, it is amazing. The roots that are this color, like yellowish color, brownish color, but they are stiff, they are functional, and they are this color because they didn't photosynthesize, or I don't know how to pronounce this word, but anyway. So they didn't have contact with the light, but they are functional and viable. I'm going to spray my orchid with some hydrogen peroxide 3%, as you can see here. Okay, so you will need to spray very good all the root system of the orchid, and let it fizz for about 5 minutes. I will also spray in between the leaves because the orchid was potted pretty low in the medium, and I'm afraid I might have some snail eggs or something like that there. Take care of the blooms because the hydrogen peroxide can slightly burn them. I don't know if you can see here in the middle part. Right here I had something growing. I don't know if it was a spike or a root, but the thing is, the snail munched off whatever that was, and imagine it was a spike. That wasn't pretty funny. Okay guys, so I'm back. My orchid is now freezing for about 5 minutes, and that is enough to kill any snails. And now I will use inorganic medium, as you can see right here. It has about 80% small leca bees. Those are the size 4 to 8 millimeters. As you can see, they are really small. And about 20% seramis. This is not an exact science. Also, I will keep the orchids together, and I will put them in this big clear plastic pot. This is a 15 centimeters pot, and I also have some ventilation holes. These are not necessary, but this is an older pot, and yeah, I will just use it like that. I will put a small layer of pebbles on the bottom of the pot, like so, and now I will put my orchid gently inside, trying to rotate it a bit to arrange the roots in a circle. Now I'm placing the orchid in such a big pot because first of all there are 3 orchids, and I already have quite a large root system. It will take off the pot quite fast, and I don't want to repot it too soon because it is in organic medium. It doesn't decompose, and my orchids grow wonderful in that pot. I also sterilized the stake. This is some hair from my cat. So I sterilized the stake, and I will place it now while I can actually see what I am doing, because I don't want to injure any roots. And I will use this flower clip because it is prettier. Just simply put it around the orchid. I will adjust the height of the orchid as I go. The leca and seramis will provide the aeration that the orchid needs. I will always water from the top and let the medium flush away, no matter if I fertilize or I water with clean water. But I will also keep all the time water in the tray, and I will make sure I water it at least once every week, because the water from the tray and from pebbles and the seramis needs to be refreshed every week, because some bacteria are forming there if the orchid stays wet with the same water inside them longer than 1 week. Or at least that is my experience, because also I have high humidity and that sort of stuff. Okay guys, so this is how I would go about repotting a phalaenopsis into inorganic medium. You can either use it as normal medium, either as semi-hydroponics. I will try to do a hybrid between those things, and I will keep you updated how my orchid will do and how it will take over the pot. As you can see, the pot it is not too large for it, because there are 3 plants inside, a lot of fruits, and a lovely spike. Let's try to give you a close-up of the blooms. Let me know if you know her ID, because I didn't manage to find it. I have some lovely pink spots there, and a lovely pattern inside the lip, on the lip. Beautiful orchid. Hey guys, this is all for today. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.